So if you have been following me so far, you would notice that I always pick one engraving and try to make it work, like Precise Dagger. I made the best optimal build for it. Like Raid Captain, I made the best build for it. I made like so many builds, but this time it's Supercharged Turn. I'm thinking of even making a series for this, like finding the best optimal build for each engraving. So if there is an engraving you want me to try on, just comment it. And for this one, it was kind of complicated because supercharge is completely useless on surge because your whole identity is surge damage. Your whole damage is in surge and it does not impact surge damage one bit. And some deathblade players would even argue that supercharge, having supercharge on surge is like having a 4x3 setup, not 5x3. So how can we make this work? It sounds impossible, but as you know, it's my job to make it possible. So today we're gonna do something really interesting, which is like for first the stat distribution or the combat stat will be completely normal. There would be no weird stuff like swift or extra crit. The only plot twist would be in one skill, in the rotation, and in the ingredient setup. So we would not be surging at 20 stacks anymore. We would have a rotation for 16 stacks. And we would swap. Wait, since we are taking Supercharge, this is obvious. We are not gonna take Void Zone and Dark Dimension. We would take Dark Explosion and Fist of Darkness so we can benefit from the Supercharged tripod. And the most important part, which is the ingredient setup, and it would be like this. Level 1 Surge, Level 2 Adrenaline, Ambush Massacre, Stall Supercharge, and Grudge. You might ask me, why not Level 3 Surge? As I mentioned, having Supercharge on your build means you're depending on your basic skills. So it would make no sense to take such engraving and not focus on your basic skills. This build would be 50-50. So you know how the usual surge builds deal like 70% on surge and there is only 30% coming from basic skills? This one would be 50% from surge, 50% from basic skills. So it's like what would happen if Remaining and Surge were a couple and they gave birth to a baby. This would be their baby basically. And I kid you not, it's a really fun build. It's so fast. So let me explain now one of the most important part of this build as well, which is the rotation. So as I mentioned, we would be searching at 16 stacks. So your rotation would be like, you would start it with like basically any surge rotation, wind cut into spin cutter, into wind cut again, into earth cleaver. Then you would use soul absorber, then you would use maelstrom, then blitz rush, and you would like use spin cutter again so you can get extra stacks before surging and so you can also get back the party synergy. And after it you would surge, and after surging you would use Void Strike. Since we are surging at 16 stacks, we would need some orb generation. So you would use Void Strike to get the orbs back to being full. So let me show you an example. So it's gonna be like this. So you see that. It's pretty basic, it's so simple, and it's so much fun. So I might actually invest Fions for this build and use it at specific scenarios where sometimes when you have like a high eye level raid and people are just bursting through the HP bars so fast that you don't get to get 20 stacks. So I might actually invest some Fions to get this build for that kind of scenarios. If you enjoyed it, if you want to make this build as your main or alt, let me know, and believe me, you would not regret it. It's so fast, it's so cool, it feels so smooth. And now I'm gonna leave you with a DPS test between the difference between this build and distance slot build.